I want to start with you spending time in Oregon on a farm. Could you
Yeah.
tell that story and how that has transformed your life in some way?
Yeah, it's a funny story. I think especially back then in 20 that was a summer of 2012. I was going through a lot of personal transformations. I was really trying to clean up my life. I had spent a while already, like a number of months off of really hard drugs, and was just trying to build a lot of positive habits. And one thing that kind of clicked was that I wanted to get in touch with nature. And like I'm such a city boy through and through. I grew up in Boston, and then I spent the last like 7 years in New York City. So I've just spent all my times in cities. But spending that time in Oregon, being on the farm, learning how to garden, learning how to just grow food. It felt like such a natural calling. And I knew that it was something that I would want to do with the rest of my life, as like a part-time thing, just like grow food, every spring, summer, and spend time just like tending gardens. But it felt like a pretty pivotal thing because I got to know myself and also just start developing a lot of patience because growing food is it's a slow process.
When you say you got to know yourself, what exactly did you get to know?
I think I got to know a lot of my fear, right? So like that time when I was on the farm, I it was the first time that I'm living on a farm, and there were a few houses on the farm, but people who came to work for the summer, we would live outside in tents. And I was like sleeping outside, and this is like a huge transition for me. I had never even gone camping really. I mean, I actually had gone camping twice, but it was like, camping with like these really big groups, and I just wasn't good at it. I wasn't like, leading any of that. I was just following. But having to sleep outside for 3 months, man, I got in contact with the fear that was inside me, and just like developing new courage, because you hear the craziest things at night when you're like sleeping in the woods, and being able to like set up a temporary home for yourself, that is just like so different from like living inside of like like a wooden structure. But it was good. I think I gained a lot of courage from that.
Was it just you or you and friends? How did the situation come to be?
There was one of my buddies, one of my best friends that I met. We met in like fourth grade, but he had gone out there first to Portland, Oregon, and he was staying on that farm. And it was through his sister that they got connected to the farm. And through him, I ended up there as well. And he was there, but he wasn't like sleeping outside. He was sleeping inside because he was like a long-term resident of the farm. So he got himself a room. But it was good. It was good having him there, but he was also like living his own life. And I didn't want to intrude too much and just you know, um, like stick myself to him. I wanted to be able to like fend for myself and make my own friends and have my own rhythm there. So it was nice having him there, but at the same time, it was good that we had a good understanding going into it so that we could both live our separate lives there too.
Were you meditating at that time?
I started meditating right in the middle of that. And it wasn't I did the first meditation course, but then as soon as I finished it, I didn't keep up with the practice. Like I didn't start meditating daily. I did that first 10-day course like right I think it was like right at the very beginning of July, and I had been on the farm since like May. Um, so I took those 10 days off, and I went a little north. That I was actually in Washington State, and it was just such an incredible experience that was enormously difficult. I had never gotten to know myself at that deep of a level. Like I had never been silent for 10 days before. And it all felt very new. And also all of the information that came with the meditation was mind blowing. I remember when I finished the course and I was talking to my college friends, I described it to them as, in those 10 days, I learned more than 4 years of college, hands down.